I don't think people really often understand our body chemistry in relation to our functionality in our relationships.
Ready, get into it?
And what I mean by that is we're organic beings, right? And everything that we do, everything that we are has a chemical balance to it, right? There's some sort of a tangible or physical element that adds into the experience, right? So I say that because we think about emotions, right? In like this kind of conceptual way, in this metaphoric way, but there's very real, tangible things, elements that go into play when it comes to our emotions and experiences we get and so forth. So when it comes to our relationships, there's typically three main, you would say, nerve signals or hormones that drive or the driving force for a lot of the experience we get or how we feel about our relationship as a whole. And I think when you're not aware of these things and how they operate, it can dictate a lot as to what you miss and what you're not aware of and what you're not catching that maybe you need to make some adjustments with or be put attention into to make sure you're not, setting yourself up for failure in your relationship and letting things that go past you and whiz by over your head that you could catch that can help you significantly in making sure you have a happy, healthy relationship that you want to have. And the first hormone, if you will, or nervous signal, if you whatever you want to call it, is oxytocin. Right now, it's also known as the love hormone, as most people know it as, because that is the hormone that's released when you're feeling a sense of love, when you're feeling connection, when you're feeling like you are in that engagement with someone else that you feel love for, right? And here's the thing. It's usually at its best and released at its highest whenever you are doing some sort of physical engagement with someone else that you care for, hugging, kissing, whether you're holding hands, right, or having sex, whatever the case is. Whenever you are intimately in each other's space, bonding, it matters so much. So if you don't have a consistent pattern or practice of embrace with your partner, this could be a big reason why you're not feeling the love in your relationship if you're not feeling it, right? I don't know if you are, you are not. But look, different strokes, different folks, different relationships, different couples have different varying degrees of intimacy that they need. But intimacy must be a part of the equation for majority of us. I know some people out there can be like asexual and not as affectionate in those ways, or maybe they don't need it, but it's so rare, right? So for the majority of us, for the norm, right, averages, you have to be engaging in your partner's space because we are physical beings first, right? Organic physical beings, which means we respond best and first and foremost to physical things. This is why 93% of effective communication is nonverbal, because we experience these things in the tangible world, what I can see, feel, touch, smell, hear, whatever. So words go a certain distance, but they don't fully get to the finish line as the actions, right? Actions speak louder than words. All those things are because we respond best energetically, physically, and so forth whenever we are getting the tangible experience. So you gotta be loving on your partner more, them loving on you more, creating consistent things to where that's what you guys are there to intendedly do. The intention is to bond and connect. That's what it is. That's what it means to bond and connect. When you get into each other's space and there's some level of intimacy and whatever it looks like, whether it is in the bedroom or whether it's just out on the couch watching a movie and you're just hugged up with each other, you're feeling and your body's starting to release. It's releasing that hormone, right, to give you that sense of love and bond, that warmth. Amazing, right? We need that. So do that with your partner if you're not already. The second one that's big that people usually, this one gets missed or gets left to the wayside after the beginning of the relationship, is dopamine. That's the hormone that's associated with, or neurotransmitter, if you will, with pleasure and reward. And so we feel that at its highest usually in the beginning of a romance, because things are still fresh, they're new, it's all mysterious, it's exciting. You're learning things about this new great person that you also are attracted to and all these things. And that dopamine is just firing off, it's releasing all over the place, right? It's going off like bells and whistles, and that creates that magic that we experience. That, oh man, this relationship is so amazing. I never experienced this before, type of a thing, right? Or something where you're just like, wow, what's going to happen next? And really, what's secretly happening is your need for uncertainty is being met, which is one of our 6 core human needs, right? We have a need for certainty to feel like we're sure and reassured about ourselves and what's going on in our lives. But we also need a sense of mystery, because if you knew everything's going to happen every day, it'd be a boring life. So when someone new comes into your life, it's so much excitement because there's so much what it could mean, right? It could be your forever person to be happy with and have kids with and go do wonderful things, and a companion to share in these great experiences, right? It's all these possibilities. You're learning all these things about them to see if it's going to be that, and all that stuff's going on, right? That's very exciting, and it meets that need you have to feel like you're doing something new that feeds your spirit, right? So the thing that happens is, after we get through that first kind of so many months, or that first fresh new car smell phase, as I like to call it, and the relationship starts to become more normal and things aren't so exciting. There's not new things happening all the time. You learned a good bit about your partner already. Then it starts to kind of die off, right? You're not doing the dates as much. You're not as excited to go do this new thing spontaneous with your partner, because the excitement of them isn't there the same way, right? They become normalized to you. And then that's relationships start to slide, because now that excitement's not there. They think there's nothing wrong with it because they're happy with each other. They love each other. They feel at peace. They feel safe and comfortable with this person there. And time goes on, but then there's that spark starts being missing, right? That flare is not there like it once was, because you didn't keep it alive. See, it's all alive on its own when you first meet, because you don't have to do anything to have to discover and learn someone that the only way to get to be with them is to learn them, right? But if you learn certain things, then it becomes more of a proactive thing on your end to keep that going. You now have to insert things or start doing things together that keeps the fresh, new, fun, magic feeling alive, but together about something else that's not you too. Because you're not going to feel as excited about that person, because you feel like there's not too many mysteries left. I think if you try hard enough, you can keep learning anything more about your partner if you keep putting effort towards it. But that becomes more of like the shorter ladder, the rope to climb at some point. So then you have to start, you and your partner, to pick things. You and your partner, sorry, I speak fast sometimes. You and your partner have to pick things that you're going to do together that will be your new thing. That's exciting, that you're going to learn from, and that feels great, that you tie and you relate it to your partner because you do this with your partner. So it's exciting with them, and it helps keep that spark alive, right? And so whether that's taking on a new hobby, traveling more, doing some class together that you want to do, going to some exciting show you like to go to, I don't know, venturing out to new restaurants or these new areas, things to where it's like, wow, we're about to go learn something new. It's about to be, something cool and something that is going to be, I'm anticipating the outcome of with my partner. So you guys start building the muscle to start releasing that dopamine with that other person, to where you almost tie getting that experience, getting that feeling of pleasure or reward for going to go do this new thing, and you associate it with them to where you want to do with them more, and it makes you guys more bonded, right? And here's the other piece too. Whenever your dopamine is being released, it's mostly happening best because you're learning something. And when you're learning something, your brain stays more engaged to whatever you're learning, which stimulates the release of that dopamine so that you can get that hit of a high, that good feeling. And what better than to have that feeling with your partner next to you to feel it together for the union of your relationship. Now, just a little side piece. This should be something you're meeting for yourself on your own too, as an individual in your relationship, so you can be influence and be that spark of, breath of fresh air and excitement to your partner, to where they want to do the same in return. But you got to have these things you do together to unify in that way. And the last thing is cortisol, right? That's usually known as the stress hormone. And it goes without saying, right? The more stressed you are in your relationship and in your life, the more your relationship quality goes down. So if you're going to keep that quality at its best, especially with all the outside things going on in the world and adulting and life and so forth, then you and your partner have to do your best job together to create a home environment or a space that you spend most of your time in that is stress-free as much as possible, right? From the coloring that you choose, the aesthetics in your home, to the clutter not being there, to even the lighting, to where it should induce more of a peaceful and calm and relaxing state, right? Something that feels more stress free and like letting your hair down, unwinding and just kind of like a release, right? And that's why it's also important to do things together with your partner, like going for walks, maybe meditating, if it is yoga, or, you know, breathing techniques, anything that induces that calm and more of that peace to step away from the negative, right? Because when we talk about stress is usually a negative frequency, negative vibration, and it's, you know, not something that you're built to sit in for often and for long, because it's destructive to you, right? You'll start to deteriorate. So the more you can create an environment around you and do things with your partner that embody peace and stress free and relief, the more it's going to unify you guys better and raise the quality level of your relationship. And I can't stress how important that is. You all know how important that is. So that now, when you come home from your day, you look forward to going back into the environment that your partner's a part of. And you associate that stress-free environment with them, which means you associate your partner with happiness and joy and pleasure. So you do these things consistently and you kind of meet the need or release these hormones in the most effective way and bring down at least the one for cortisol, and watch how your relationship will improve significantly. I promise you. But everything's about consistently. Do that, and I guarantee you your results will be better. Let's get it.